Did I tell you that I couldn't get a good compression reading on any cylinder? Which is any cylinder, and not like a low reading, but just like it wouldn't even stick on the gauge. I did test the gauge with the air compressor, and it kind of worked. So yeah, I think it's got a blown head gasket. And I looked at one of the cylinders, the one closest to the turbo, black with oil, shiny with oil. So yeah, I have a head gasket kit, but you know, so I'm gonna put it together and start it up though, because why not? I'm that close. Okay, so I just need to put the radiator in. I think that's literally all that I need to do. This is the way it is, right?
You're gonna want a new one of those.
A new radiator?
Yeah.
I think what I have to do is that. Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Boom, dude.
This should be topped up and ready to turn over an engine. I'm going to check the oil one more time. It's got a little bit of oil in it. I might top it off a little bit just with some random whatever I have sitting around. No reason to get into my brand new oil because this is just a test. And it may end in disaster. A little bit, something like that. Just a taste. We have got gas. We've got water. Maybe top this off real quick. So we've got our belts hooked up. All of our wires are hooked up. All of our air hoses are hooked up. Okay. Vice grips, because that does not make a very good connection. Just grab that on there. Oh boy. Here we go. Okay. Clutch is in. I got absolutely nothing. Yep. Well, it's a good thing I charged our jump box. A lovely low battery beeping sound. Here we go. It's about what I expected. That's okay. It's turning over. No idea if it's firing. It's turning. Is it getting fuel? Is it throwing the spark?
Please, stop. Nothing is going to ruin this wedding. So if it takes all night, I personally will drive each of you home in my car. My Subaru.
Drive a Subaru with on-demand four-wheel drive, and don't let the weather spoil a good time.
So I've never actually done this before, but it seems like it should be pretty simple. I've rigged up a little copper wire here with an alligator clip on the end. I'm going to attach this to the starter solenoid back here. Pull the signal wire off of that, and if I can grab that bad boy. Yup, okay. Should be, as long as that doesn't come off of there, should be, if I send that a positive signal, it'll turn over. I'm gonna get the jump box set up over here. Grab that, grab that. Okay, it's on. Got my wire. Nothing. Nothing. Whoop, there we go. Yup. Now the timing light runs off of power and then has this magnetic pickup thing that you put over the spark plug. And when you're turning the engine, the light on here flashes every time it senses a spark in that wire. Normally you'd put it on your number one wire and you point it at your flywheel or your crank or whatever you're timing your engine with. Light on. Nothing coming from the light. So these are my new battery terminals. I haven't wired them up yet. You just disconnect them, you just pull up on it, and voila. Yeah, that's not too shabby. Perfect. Despite all of this looking like a complete mess, we've actually made some progress here. These two lines go to our ignition coil. This goes to something I believe is called the igniter, and it's got about a volt of power coming through there. And when we first tested our ignition coil with the multimeter, we were seeing about a volt of power. So we're missing something. This guy here is not putting out any power. He clearly is a power wire. Rather than looking for a problem in the wire, I probably should have just checked the fuse panel and look for a burnt out fuse controlling the ignition. So I just pulled these 15 amp fuses, pulled them out of the fuse box. Not exactly sure what's happened to them, but they've definitely seen better days. Okay. There. So Logan's gonna come out and help us one more time. There he is. What a champ. So you're gonna crank it over. And I'm gonna test this guy again and see if there's any changes. Stop. Ooh, that was close. This thing almost got wound up in the... Okay, this is interesting. I am actually getting a little bit of voltage here now. See if I can hold this. There we go. Okay, give me another one. Oh, there's some voltage, 0.2. Well, we're getting 0.2 volts out of this this little plug, which I don't think we were getting before. So I'm going to plug it back in, and we'll test the positive terminal on the coil. Okay, go for it. Oh, okay, stop. We're seeing a lot more movement now. We're seeing like 4 or 5 volts of power. Yeah. This is promising, man. This is very promising. Here we go. Okay, stop. Our battery's getting too low. I just dressed up the ignition terminals here. Took them off, cleaned them off, put some dielectric grease on there. Just to make sure we're getting premium contact, because I'm not sure we were before. As I'm messing with all this stuff, I keep having to look at this ugly positive wire. That's not a happy wire. Okay, let's just take a second to admire how clean that is. Maybe I'll just go turn it over right now and see what happens. This will be a good test to see if we're getting any power from that new battery. I heard a noise. Wow. So we do have power. It's strong power too, actually. Oh, something exploded. We still have some power. Took an extra second to come on. Struggling a little more. Snap terminals. I don't believe it. It's gonna give me the same problem. Which is what exactly? I'm not super sure. Okay. Got strong beeps. Holy! Logan! Did you hear that? You didn't hear it?